we will now be taking a closer look at the recreation area. As already mentioned, the recreation area is one of the main three exterior areas that are a part of Mount Massive Asylum, and this area is only seen in Outlast Whistleblower during the recreation area chapter. So, from a technical standpoint, as I've already touched on, basically the purpose of the recreation area is to basically more or less provide a separation between the female ward, prison block, and hospital. And so, and there's also the prison yard that takes up roughly about 1/3 of the actual area, more or less. And so yeah, and you can see that there is a little bit of fog here. There's really not much I can really do about that, so it's going to be a little bit difficult to see, but I will try my best to get through this. And so there's really no actual really starting point to the recreation area, so I think I'm just going to really start from over here. This is the secondary entrance to the prison block that we've seen before. So we saw this, we've already seen this in the prison block section of the video. And so yeah, and like I already said, this really doesn't go anywhere. It's just intersects with B block, but there's really no actual, these areas aren't really connected. So this I already said. But if it were to actually make sense, if you could access this area from the rest of the prison, you would take you outside right here. So it's right outside the hallway that connects the prison block to the female ward. So this is kind of more or less behind the courtyard. So this courtyard that connects the female ward, that's basically just the in between the female ward and the hallway that connects the administration block to their prison block. So, and yeah, and this area right here is also the actual prison yard I mentioned. So this is where it is. It's basically just several meters away from the actual prison block, so it's very close. And so yeah, so again, this is the entrance, and of course it's got a sign that reads prison block, of course. It's got a little light. And yeah, like I said, a lot of this is going to be brick towards this side, so the wall that faces the recreation area is actually all brick, even though the other three walls of the prison have sandstone as the masonry, which I always found to be very interesting. But this also applies to the prison yard as well. So you can see that's all brick, and then this hallway is sandstone. And you're also going to notice that the windows on this side also have these iron bars, whereas the other windows don't really have them. So this side of the prison block is quite different than the other ones, is basically the main point I'm trying to get across. Anyways, you also do have this guard tower. So I have seen a lot of people mistake the water tower in the drying ground as a guard tower. This is actually the guard tower. So you have this guard tower that contains a few offices, which we'll be taking a look at very soon, but there's also another one right over here. And yeah, so yeah, again, it's an outdoor area, so there's a lot of outdoor spaces, basically just for the inmates, slash patients that are going to be staying in the prison block. They can get some fresh air, because they would spend most of their time cooped up inside the prison block, so this allows them to get basically some fresh air for just a bit. And yeah, so I guess we'll just kind of work our way around here. So again, this is the bottom of the guard tower. So it's 3 stories tall. This is the very bottom, and you do have an office here. It's very basic. I mean, it's just got concrete for ceiling, walls, and flooring. So it's just very basic. And there's not much to it. All you got is a desk, a little chair, and a clock, and that's basically all you're getting. So very basic office, very small as well. So again, you got a lot of chain link fences. Yeah, a lot of chain link fences and the doors that basically that's basically what the recreation area is. It's just separated into these just few different, just chain link fences and areas that are just fenced off to kind of create, quote unquote rooms, if that makes sense. Like, this would be a room, except it's just chain link fences. Although you do have some walls here, the actual prison yard. Which the prison yard, that's just an unofficial term. This is still part of the recreation area. So you do have actual walls here that just separate these areas. So yeah, again, this is all just alongside the prison block. Yeah, so you have this area and then another separate area here. And past this point, you're really not allowed to go here. Patients aren't really allowed to go past this point. So you just basically just got a very basic chain link fence, which I always found to be interesting because, I mean, they could kind of try to get past this. It'll be difficult. I'm sure that by the time they probably try to put a piece of furniture up against this, a guard will by then spotted them and basically stop them from crossing. But this is all outside, so I highly doubt that patients would be allowed outside past this point, pretty much. So the walls here, that's a little bit more secure, but they could have just, if I was designing this personally, I would just extend the wall over here as well, just to be safe. I mean, just a simple chain link fence, because that's how you see it in most prisons. I mean, you basically just have walls, actual, brick walls or concrete or something like that, actual masonry instead of just basically a chain link fence that can be easily traversed or even probably knocked down if enough force is applied. Anyways, that's enough about that. So yeah, just a lot of outdoor spaces. You do have these little tables as well. That kind of reminds me of the tables you see at parks. So that's very interesting. And you do have some outside as well, which is interesting. I don't know how these got here, since there's really no doors, as you can see, and there's also no doors on this side either. And then that leads to the actual walled off area. So it's all connected. You do have a few doors that allow you access, although they do go into different areas, because if you're looking at it from above, which it's difficult to see, but it's basically just a rectangle, this area is, kind of broken up. It's kind of split off into different little areas with, again, the chain link fences. So this area at the front, kind of consider as the front, this is the largest area. So this is the actual kind of basketball court. So they do have 2 basketball hoops, and there's also 4 basketball hoops in the gymnasium with the vocational block. So there's actually 6 basketball hoops if you're interested how many there are. There's 6, 2 in the recreation area and 4 in the vocational block. And also, I guess, in the secondary vocational block, there would probably also be a gymnasium, so that's another 4. So that's 10 basketball hoops. And yeah, so it's very sparse, just a lot of area to kind of walk around. Besides the basketball hoops, you do have some areas for seating, just some very basic benches. And then you got these kind of spotlights, pretty much, so very bright and powerful lights here. And there's also, are there 2? Yeah, there's also 2 back here. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this area. So again, just, brick, and then just kind of this large kind of tile here. Don't really know what to call it. Don't really know what that is. It's just some kind of concrete, pretty much, looks like it. And then it's capped off at the top by more chain link fences. So you can see it's really high up. It's basically, almost probably 2 stories tall from the top of the actual fence, the barbed wire, to the actual flooring. So it's really tall. It kind of makes this look a little bit bigger than it really is. So yeah, and then at this point, yeah, you have 2 ways you can go. One of them actually goes down to a ladder and kind of takes you to this kind of guard post, another kind of security post area. So yeah, more chain link fences, and then this leads you to more outdoor spaces. So you got this hallway here, and then you gotta turn, and it goes straight to another door, and this leads back to the area that we were just in. So everything's all kind of connected. Yeah, another door, and this just leads you towards the back of this area. It's got another door here, although it seems to be missing. I imagine there will probably be a door here. Got another little area here. This one's very empty. There's nothing in it. There's not really a whole lot going on here except just another door that leads back towards the ladder that goes up to the guard post. But there's also this door here, and this is unknown where it actually leads to. So you can see that it's the prison yard. It's not a perfect rectangle because there is this area that's kind of built into it. Kind of this rectangular area is kind of built into it. Kind of intersects a bit. And so you got this empty room here. I don't really know what it is. Probably storage or something like that. So it's kind of unknown really what that is. There's really nothing in it. So it's right below the actual guard post. So this is where we are. Yeah. Another kind of outdoor area. Again, there's really not a whole lot going on in here. But you can see that there's this wall here. So instead of chain link fences, there actually are these kind of two walls kind of towards the middle section. And then it's got another door here. Again, you know, kind of this metal door, it's kind of like a metal grate door, pretty much. And it leads into this a bit larger area, and this area actually does have a little bit more going on than some of the two other areas. So you got more tables, and you actually also do have kind of gym equipment. So you got a bench press here, and then kind of this. It's kind of like a monkey bar. I really don't know what this is. So, but I'm guessing it's just kind of more devoted to exercise. So again, you know, just allows the more violent patients that are going to be in prison in a prison block to, you know, kind of exercise a bit, since they're going to spend most of their time cooped up in the prison block, as already mentioned. And then this just leads back to the area that we also explored earlier. And then on the other side, yeah, you got another, well, past this door is another little closed off area. And again, you just got basically just tables. So that's pretty much it for that. And then, over here, you can see that there's a ladder going down. And I guess we should probably take a look, since we're pretty much done with this area. Although we do kind of have this upper area, so I guess we'll do this upper area first. So you can see that the actual prison yard is kind of 2 stories tall, 3 if you include this. That's the guard tower that's kind of built alongside the prison area. But once you do climb this ladder, you do have this again, the guard post, and it's a very interesting shape of the actual room, because you can see that it's actually kind of an octagon. Yeah, because it's got 8 sides, so very interesting shape. But yeah, again, it's very basic, just concrete for everything, and just a simple fluorescent light. You got 2 desks here, so 2 security guards will be working here at the same time, although there's an extra chair there, so maybe 3 or maybe even 4, it looks like. You know, got these gratings here, so these aren't really even windows, it's just like grates, kind of these metal grates. So, kind of gives them a little bit of a view of what's going on, but not the best one. You would actually have to be standing to actually look out. So you got 2 doors here. This one leads towards the ladder, because and the other one, the other door is here, because you can see that there's actually no way to get it around this area. You actually have to go through this room to kind of access this balcony area. So kind of around the perimeter, although not all of it, because you can see that this balcony does not span. It doesn't go around the entire, all four sides, or the entire perimeter of the prison yard. It actually only goes around more towards the back. So you kind of have this balcony area, and this is pretty much here for, if I had to guess, it's basically just for the guards to make their patrols, make sure everything is going on. It's hard to see because of the fog, but without the fog, this would be, you would basically be able to see the entire prison yard from here. So it lets you have a very nice view of everything that's going on. So yeah, and it's basically just this kind of, balcony area is what I call it. Kind of just this walkway of chain link fences, yeah. So, patients really normally would not really be allowed up here. So basically just this is more for staff, really. And also does have another door that leads, back into the prison block, but it really doesn't go anywhere. So, and there's also another door up above, but this one actually does go somewhere. So the one time a door actually does go somewhere. So, but most of them just don't. So yeah, now this is the upper level of the guard tower. So this is the, you got another office. It's right above the office we saw earlier. And much like that office, it's basically just the same. So clock, desk, just concrete, and that's pretty much it. Very dirty, basic office. So yeah, and then you just got the door, and yeah, just some, some railing. That's pretty much it. It's pretty self-explanatory. And then you got a ladder that leads to the third and the topmost level of this actual guard tower. So you climb up here, and now you have a very nice view of not just really the actual prison yard, but basically the entire recreation area for the most part. So in better weather conditions, you would actually be able to see all the way back to that wing of the hospital. So we haven't covered this yet, but you would be able to see this with ease in much better weather conditions. And then yeah, another office, and yeah, much like the other ones, it's basically the same concrete desk, little chair, but this one actually does have a window. So the other ones don't have windows. This one does, and so the guard that would be working here actually gets a really nice view of the recreation area. So hospital, the facades of the hospital and the kind of female ward. So, and of course in my map that I'm working on in Minecraft, you'll be able to see this a lot better. So I'm actually very excited to show you what that will look like. So you'll be able to actually stand here and see what it would look like if you were here, without the fog, of course, and then stuff like that. So, but in the meantime, this is basically the best I can provide for you. And then yeah, just this is the very top of the guard tower, so it just kind of has this gable roof, which is kind of made of concrete, which is very interesting, very weird choice. But anyways, yeah, and then there's this door here, and of course this leads into A block, so kind of the right-hand side of the prison block, so the topmost level. This is, of course, the area that Waylon goes through. And so that's pretty much it for that. And then background here, yeah, just more outdoor spaces. You do have, there should be some more tables here. So yeah, there's one right there. And then yeah, so this is the hallway that connects the prison block to the female ward. Again, there's really not a whole lot going on in here. Just not really a whole lot. My guess is the interior of this hallway would probably look a lot like this one, probably. So, or something like that. Who really knows? And yeah, and you're also going to notice something very strange is that on this side, the hallway is 3 stories tall, whereas on this side it's only, well, really, if you take this into account as well, or actually, let's see, yeah, so from like this side, from like the ground to the roof, it's 3 stories, but on this side it's only 2. You can see that's off by 1, so there's an extra floor on this side than this one. So that's going to be really strange to recreate in my map. I really don't know how I'm going to do that. That's really weird. And it's also the same for this as well. It's basically the same concept here, where you have an extra level on this side, or it's only 2 on this side. So again, you just have these just instances of the Asylum not making a whole lot of sense. So even though the Asylum does have a dedicated layout, there's stuff like this, these small little instances where it just doesn't make that much sense. You know, if this were real life, if this were an actual building, this would just be really strange. But anyways, that's enough about that. Yeah, this is the female ward, so we're kind of heading more towards the back now. We've got another kind of entrance area. So yeah, and that just directs you towards the prison block. And we do have a staircase here. So it's has 3 tiers, so it has like this landing. So like you go up these stairs and it kind of branches off. So similar to the one in the courtyard, except it's a little bit smaller. At first I thought it was the exact same staircase, but it is actually a little bit smaller. But it's still basically the same kind of design for the most part. So that leads towards that, and then over here, this kind of takes you again another outdoor area, more chain link fences. This doesn't really serve any purpose. Basically, it's just provide connections to the 3 buildings. So prison block, female ward, hospital. That's really all this is for. So if you want to get from the hospital to the prison block, you just go through these areas. So it's just very interesting how to go from some of these buildings, you actually have to go outdoors instead of having an actual just hallway. So, instead of just having like a hallway from like here, connecting the prison block to the hospital, they didn't do that. It's just, you have to go outdoors, which I just found a little bit awkward. See another fence, and yeah, this is this back area. So not a whole lot going on back here. Just some trees, and this is the back. There's kind of this hill here, and then you got mountains. And this right here is the left-hand side of the hospital. So I'm going to talk a little more about that in the hospital section. Right now I just want to focus on the recreation area. So yeah, this is now the hospital. We're right outside of it. And so yeah, just more outdoor areas. And yeah, this leads back to, if you go through these doors, it'll lead you back into the walled-off prison yard. And now you just actually got walkways here. Although in some areas there aren't even walkways, it's just grass, which I also found a little interesting, a little weird. Another outdoor area. So this is at the very front of the hospital. And in this area right here, this is right outside the main entrance. So when Waylon is in the hospital and he gets to this area, after going through the decontamination chamber, this is where he looks out. So he looks out towards this area. He looks out towards the female ward. And towards this area, specifically. So yeah, more chain link fences, although here you actually do have a little bit of a wall built at the bottom, at the base. And there's also these brick kind of columns as well in this part. So yeah, more fences, kind of just going around the, kind of more of the boundaries here, and then we'll go towards the center a little bit more. So yeah, another door here, and then yeah, this is double doors, which is very interesting. Most of the doors here in the recreation area, they're just single doors. And this is the staircase that Waylon uses to escape the hospital. So this is where. So this right here, this is the very beginning of the recreation area. So this is where you start out in once you exit the decontamination chamber. You make your way around here, and then of course the hospital is an L shape. So you start out at the front, and then you kind of walk towards the kind of the wing here, which is where the crematorium is. And of course you do have this side entrance to the hospital. So this is the kind of little chapel area, so to say, kind of small chapel. That's part of the crematorium. So this is not really a true exit, much like the exit in the male ward. it's not a true exit because it just leads into a courtyard. So you're not really outside, so to say. Well, you are outside, but you're still within the confines of the actual asylum. And yeah, just this is kind of a dead end, and then there's a door here, and this leads more towards the central area. I think there's really not a whole lot to really say about this area. So I mean, it's just a lot of vegetation, you know, just these kind of dead trees, so to say, just a lot of branches, and then just like a lot of different junk scattered around. And you kind of got a staircase here, which is interesting. So the recreation area also kind of has different levels. So the terrain in the recreation area is not completely perfect, much like the courtyard. It also has different tiers, and if you really want to see this, you can see that this area is kind of a hill here. So because this area right here, this is actually the same level as you know, like the female ward, the male ward, the administration block, but as I've mentioned, the rear sections of the asylum are kind of raised. So the first level of the hospital is actually on the same level as the second floor as the female ward, you know, the ward's administration block. And there's a lot of rocks here, so a little bit of rocky terrain here. And then this brings us to this area. Now this area I always found very interesting because we don't know where it leads to. So this is kind of an unknown area. So, and don't really know where it goes to. It kind of has just this wall here that's adjacent to the, again, kind of the female ward. Well, kind of the extension. This right here is the actual female ward. And there's a little staircase, and that's pretty much it. We don't really know what's past this point. So, whatever is past that is, your guess is as good as mine. So yeah, more outdoor areas, and now we're kind of going more towards the front. So this is now the female ward, although kind of this extension of the female ward. So we got more of these balconies. You can see that there's these balconies, and of course that's just for fresh air. You see them on the hospital as well. More about that once we actually get to those areas. So yeah, more outdoor areas. Another very large area, although it doesn't really serve much purpose. So yeah, more chain link fences, and this area is kind of overgrown a bit. More trees, and then rocks, yeah. And this is just below the balconies. So now we get to this area, and this actually leads us on a straight path towards the entrance to the hospital. So you can see that there's stairs here, well, two sets of stairs, again, to take into account the different levels of the recreation area. So you can really see, this really shows that the hospital is a little bit higher than some of the other sections of the asylum. So yeah, more double doors here, kind of, well, doors, you know, it's kind of these, kind of, I guess doors, but literally gates. Don't really know what to call them. So we got lights and another set of doors, and this leads to the, an entrance, and we don't really know where this entrance leads to either. So since, again, doesn't really go anywhere, this is pretty much it. And yeah, this room is all, it's made out of stone, but that's pretty much, I guess, because Red Barrels really didn't really care what the interior of this room was supposed to look like, since we really weren't meant to actually go in here. So this is the only area that you can explore that's part of, you know, kind of this extension of the female ward. This is all you get. And yeah, this door here, it's similar to the one that you see in other areas, so it's similar, like, similar to the one in the hospital and the prison block and the wards, and even kind of the main entrance to the administration block. So, which I find to be very interesting, because I've seen this door used as proof that Miles was in the asylum by the time Waylon is in the hospital, even though this same exact door with the windows surrounding it is used throughout other areas of the asylum. So I just always found that very interesting. And that's pretty much it for this area. And so yeah, so you can see that the entrance here of this female ward is basically on a straight path to the entrance of the hospital. So you just have to walk straight and you'll get to your destination. So then on this side, although I really could just use this door. So right across from where we came, and then this is just another outdoor area. This is now on the other side of this area. And just more outdoor spaces. And this leads us back to the staircase. So we basically just kind of did a full circle around kind of this main area of the recreation area. Although we're not done yet, since we do have now more towards the center these kind of catwalks, kind of these little platforms, and it overlooks a lower area. So we'll get to that in a bit, but yeah, you can access it from this door right across from the prison yard. So of course, Waylon kind of goes through this area. He hops down and goes down there in the actual story. You have another door, but then this is a dead end, so this really doesn't go anywhere. So I really don't know what the purpose of this is, since it doesn't go anywhere. And then, yeah, it doesn't have one on either side. It's just, you can see it's a drop. So when you're standing on this side, it's actually, you have a kind of a pretty substantial height difference here. So this is the ground, and then it's kind of like this, almost like a balcony almost, but it just overlooks this lower portion. And so what this area actually is, okay, we can actually get to it. This I brought up in the prison block section of the, oh no, not the prison block section, the sewer. So, I kind of talked about that this area, it could connect to the, so if I can actually find it, it connects to the sewer. So, actually I don't know where it is, but, yeah, right here. So it basically connects to the sewer. It might, because the connection is kind of close, but it's unknown. So I don't really know what this is. It's just some kind of area for draining water, pretty much, which is kind of what a sewer is, but really don't know what this is. So this is so it's basically like a tunnel, pretty much. And so, yeah, just a lot of pipes here as well, and then there's another platform here. So you have a platform there, and then there's a lower one here, and this is the actual floor itself. And you got some metal platforms, more pipes. And this area you can actually access without free cams, so you just have to kind of go along here. And in my experience, there's always a battery here. So yeah, more tunnels, more pipes. Yeah, a lot of pipes here, as you can see. And it's just a tunnel, and it terminates almost actually right at the wing, kind of the crematorium of the hospital. So it just goes down, pretty much runs below this area of the recreation area. So again, really don't know what that is. I'm not really 100% sure what this is really supposed to be. But this area, you can see it does have a ladder, and this actually takes us right back to right where we were before in the prison yard. So this is, of course, how Waylon actually accesses the prison yard from this little tunnel here. And of course, he can't go any further because there's this, again, chain link kind of fence here, and there's no actual door. So, and this is where this part kind of terminates. So again, it kind of intersects with sewer a bit. So yeah, and with that, that's pretty much it for the recreation area. That's pretty much all I really have to say on that. So again, not really a whole lot to really say about it. So yeah, that's going to be it for this section. Next, I will be taking a closer look at the at the hospital. So yeah, I will see you there.